Well, Home of Fight got a good one for you today, tomorrow, next week, last week, whenever you're watching. Regardless, Steamroller, Matt Frevola.
Oh,
How we doing, man?
doing good, bro. We're just finishing up camp strong. I head to Paris on Saturday. I'm pumped.
I mean, that's what I was gonna ask. It's a week out, almost fight week. Like, it has it hit yet? Are you there yet, or you need to get to Paris first?
I had my last sparring session yesterday. So, after that, it was feeling good. I'm healthy. My weight's good. And now, today just we're still training. I got a pretty, long day tomorrow. Jujitsu, hitting pads, drilling, strength and conditioning, swimming. And then, I gotta go back and do some laundry and pack. Um, and then I head out Saturday morning. So I think once I get to the airport, it'll sink in that, like, all right, we did the work, we're ready to go, and we're heading to Paris, baby.
And your family's already there, right? Little boys over there.
Yeah, yeah. My son and my wife and her parents are all out in Italy right now, so they're visiting the motherland. We got some family out there, so they're meeting the family. So I'm in my house all alone now. They left a couple days ago, so like finishing camp just like alone. I was used to like my baby coming back to him, and then seeing his little smiling face every day. But now, I come home just to an empty house, and it's just kind of it's lighting a fire under my ass. So
War
I'm
mode.
dialing in. I'm ready. I'm ready to kill.
Is your son gonna be at the fights? I know he's very young. I don't know if he'll remember, but is he gonna be in the building?
No, he's not going to be in the building. He's going to be in the hotel with his grandma, watching the fights there. And as soon as I handle business, I'm going to get back to him. And then, after the fight, we're going to go on a little vacation. So I'm looking forward to that.
Are you guys staying in like France, Paris for vacation? What's the plan there?
We'll be in Paris the whole week. And then the Monday after the fight, we're going to go down to Nice, the French Riviera, the coastline, kind of explore down there. I always like to be near the water, so I said, where's a nice beach in Paris? My wife found Nice, and that's where we're going.
Awesome, man. Sounds like a great way to celebrate. Before I actually get into this interview a little more, I forgot to show you my shirt, bro. My last ever event as a fan before I started covering UFC 281. Someone I
There
know
you
got a big
go.
old knockout there. You remember that one?
That was a good one, man. MSG, baby.
MSG, baby. I'll ask you a little more about MSG a little later, but fighting in Paris, some would say behind enemy lines. Are you expecting the booze, or do you think the French are now going to adopt you as their own?
Dude, I think they know the French roll is coming. I've connected with the French people, the French fan base. It's really been awesome, unexpected. Since that Benoit fight, I think the French fan base really, kind of saw what I was all about. I fight hard. I show respect. I'm a true martial artist. I'm a true warrior, and they resonate with that. So, and the French people like to have fun. I like to have a good laugh. They like to, send their memes, and whether it's hate or love, we all can laugh about it because I'm gonna be fighting, and then we're gonna have a good time.
And I could be wrong about this, but I'm pretty sure when I looked like 2 or 3 weeks ago, you were not main card yet. Now you are main card. I don't know if you actually got that bump, but you feel like this is the right fight to open up the main card.
Yeah, definitely. I think we're gonna, the crowd's gonna go wild, from start to finish, from the walkouts to the fight. I think Fares is a perfect opponent. It would have been nice not to fight a French guy in France, but I love it. That's like that's why I got into this game, is to travel the world, fight the toughest guys from around the world, and we get to go to France and fight one of the best guys out there. So it's a dream come true, and we're gonna put on a great fight, and the best man will win.
And before we actually talk about you and Fares and everything else, I got to know your thoughts on, well, let me just say, giant week for Law MMA. Merab Dvalishvili, new bantamweight champion of the world. What was your immediate reaction to that?
Dude, unbelievable, man. I'm so happy for him. The way he fought, his game plan, his movement, his calculated shots. He had O'Malley looking stupid in there. O'Malley couldn't touch him. And obviously watching, O'Malley and Aljo, we were all a little nervous because we know how good Aljo is. But Merab just had the perfect game plan, and he got it done, and nobody deserves it more than him. He's one of the nicest guys you'll ever meet. He'll give your his shirt off your back if you ask him. And just to see where he's at now. Oh, sorry, man, my cats are going at it
You're
now.
good. Cats are cool.
Get out of here. Um, yeah, dude, I'm so happy for him. He's the champion of the world. He's achieved his dreams, and it's still just the beginning. I don't see anybody beating Merab anytime soon.
Have you talked to Merab yet? Like afterwards, congratulated him or anything? How's he doing?
Yeah, I congratulated him. He's living the champ life now.
Slapping Perez's booty, having a good time, right?
Yeah, dude. I can't wait till he goes back to Georgia, brings that belt back to his people, and hopefully he stops in New York on his way out there, brings it back to Law. So it's just amazing to see, where he's came from and where he's at now. It's inspiring. Another Long Island champion. We're gonna claim him. He's Georgian, but he's a Strong Island kind of guy. It's amazing.
And going into that fight, man, the consensus was, hey, Sean might clip him early. Otherwise, Merab's going to have his way for 5 rounds. Obviously, Merab had his way for 5 rounds. So my question here is, does that go the same way against Umar Nurmagomedov? Is that a different fight altogether? How do you see that potential next bantamweight title fight going?
It's an interesting fight. Umar's got great stand up too, but he's also got great wrestling. So I think you know you never know with Merab. I don't even think Merab knows what he's gonna do until he does it. And
Clearly.
because of that, like how could any opponent pick up a read on him, because he doesn't even know what he's gonna do. It's like it's unbelievable. So I think I don't see anybody beating Merab. I think he's gonna Merab him.
And I'm curious because I talked to both Aljo and Merab recently and just talking about their camps. I know they're not spending as much time in New York as they used to. Like, does that throw a wrench in anything? Does that affect anything back at Law or not really? Like, what has that done to the landscape over there?
It's obviously always nice to have them around. But everybody gets it. They're out in Vegas doing their thing. They always come home, and whenever they're home, they know where their home is at Law MMA with Longo, with Sarah. Um, and we're just, whenever they're home, we're blessed to have them. And what they instilled in everybody at the gym is definitely, is still going. So it's it's still business as usual here in Long Island, and now we got Long Island out in Vegas too.
Who's going to be coming with you to Paris for the corner?
Me and Steve Lee are leaving on Saturday. Steve Lee's been a huge part of my camp this time. Working with me a lot, game planning with me a lot. He's Ray Longo's right hand man, and Ray, Ray's been working with me a lot, and then Ray will be out there as well. I think he's coming out either Monday or Tuesday. And then my brother leaves tomorrow.
Oh yeah.
He's going before me. Him and his wife are going out there to do a little vacation, and then they're going to meet us in Paris Monday or Tuesday. And then my dad will be out there with me. You can't go anywhere without him tagging along. So it's gonna be a great crew out there, and we're all excited to explore a new city.
Between Marab's fight and Mantello's fight, unfortunately didn't go his way. This past week, we got two just amazing Ray Longo corner works. Just, yo, go hit this motherfucker in the face. I love it, dude.
Yeah,
Absolutely amazing. So very excited to see if he can speak that French a little bit in
I
Paris.
know.
But tell me a little bit about,
I'm hoping to see a second round for that.
yeah, right. It's been a while since you saw a second
It's been
round,
a
man.
minute.
And Fares Ziam, man, tell me about this matchup. A lot of people look at this, two strikers gonna stay standing. Curious to know how you feel.
Yeah, he's good and he's got a lot of momentum. I think he's really, coming into his own now. He's older now, he got into the UFC really young, kind of learning on the job, and I'm preparing for the best version of Fares. He's on a 3-fight winning streak. And he's a great striker, but he could grapple too. He grapples in a lot of his fights as well. But so can I. I can strike, I could grapple, I could wrestle. And that's what excites me about this fight. I want to use every aspect of mixed martial arts, and I want to beat him everywhere. And I believe I can. He's coming into his own, but I'm at my peak right now. It's now or never for me. I'm 33 years old. I'm physically, mentally, spiritually in my prime, and I'm gonna show it.
And from my understanding, he's primarily at Killcliff, but I know him and Benoit maybe are friends or at least talk as fellow countrymen. You think Benoit gave him any insiders? What you think he's betraying you a little bit now that you guys are buds?
I mean, I saw that he did like a week out there with him. But I mean, he could probably share with them, how he game planned against me, but our fight didn't really go as long for him to really figure anything out. It was just getting fun before he landed that head kick on me. But it doesn't matter. At the end of the day, we're gonna be in that octagon. We're gonna fight, and I'm gonna win.
And an interesting stat going into this one is your last five fights, like you said, all ended in the first round. 6 out of 7 of his UFC fights have seen the scorecards. How do you think that plays into this one? Like, who's getting their way? Are you getting that first round finish? Is he getting those scorecards? What do you think?
We'll see. I definitely want to hear Ray Longo in the corner as well. Uh, but I'm never mad at a first round finish. But I'm prepared for 15-minute war. I'm prepared to go out there and fight him on the ground, fight him on the clinch, fight him on the stand up, and really show everything I'm capable of. So um, again, I'll take a first round finish. I'll take a second round finish. Shit, I'll take a third round finish. I'm gonna be going in there for a finish the entire 15 minutes, and it's gonna be too much for him.
And my last question about the specific fight is he is a very, I mean, he's not like he's a foot taller than you, but he's a tall guy for the weight class. He's long, he's slender, so to speak. Like, I don't know about worry is the right word, but how do you prepare for that? Talking about being aggressive and going for that finish. Like, are you going to be concerned with his long, lengthy counter shots, or have you been preparing for that with longer length people?
Yeah, I've been preparing for that. I've been sparring with Charlie Campbell, sparring with Dylan, sparring with all guys that are 6'1" or higher. So I'm prepared for that. And I've already fought guys that are 6'3". Um, I'm rarely the taller guy, so I'm used to it. So yeah, I'm ready for it all.
Violent Bob Ross is what, like 6'4" or 6'5" or something like that?
He was 6'3" as well.
He looks taller than that. It's with his hair. That's why. So yeah,
Yeah.
no stranger to the tall boys for you. But Matt, in terms of like what's next, I know it's not always easy to look past your opponent. That's not what I'm asking, but I'd be a fool not to ask, right? UFC 309 coming back to MSG. If all goes well, if you get that quick finish and you're completely healthy, hell, if you go 3 rounds and you're completely healthy, is that a fight, maybe a turnaround you're interested in?
Yeah, my mentality right now is there is no tomorrow. Um, but everything goes as planned. I want to just keep going, get as many fights in as I can, as long as I'm healthy, and just keep the dream alive.
And then like, are there any other names that interest you, or is it really still just Paddy the fat? I mean, the baddie Pimblett.
Uh, no, man, I'm so dialed in on Fares. I'm not even looking at anybody else.
Say less, man. Respect it, respect it. But I am curious just about lightweight division because you've seen the rankings. You're not far out from the rankings. We're talking about Islam and Arman now. I guess just give me your thoughts on the lightweight division. Maybe a year from now, how do you see that looking? How do you see yourself fitting into that title picture?
It's one fight at a time. Again, I gotta just keep winning fights, keep climbing. But the lightweights are amazing. Like those guys on the Noche card. That was an amazing fight. Those guys are good. Um, and then I always say, like, I might be biased, but I always think lightweight's like the most exciting weight class, just because.
Totally.
Yeah, it's like the biggest pool. Most people are like, we're like average size. We're fast. We're strong. We got the knockout power, but we have the speed and the technique. Um, so I always say, I think anybody could beat anybody on any given day. It's who shows up under those lights and is able to perform. And that's what I'm gonna be doing in Paris. And then Islam and Arman, I'm excited for that rematch. Their first fight was insane, and like Arman was so young, and he took it on short notice. So I think the rematch is definitely going to be a fun fight, and I think Arman could get it done. But Islam's definitely one of the best in the world, pound for pound. Um, but I fought Arman, so I hope that he wins.
Yeah, and you went the distance against that's like a loss that really aged well. I mean, I don't know. I know fighters don't always think a loss ages well at all, but if a loss is going to age well, that's one of them right there, man. And I got three more things for you, and then I'll get you out of here. Number one, just because we're talking about 309 and hopefully maybe you getting on that card if it works out, John Jones or Stipe, who you got?
Dude, I hope that Stipe is the guy that can humble John Jones. I hope. I hope, but like nobody can. John
He's good,
Jones is
man.
he's just too good.
He's the GOAT.
But it's like he's like that guy, who's just always, not working hard, always, doing the wrong things, but then just like still wins. And I've like always hated those guys because I've had to like work for everything I had. I can't take shortcuts. I can't do those things. Like everything I have to give everything I have to be able to do what I do. And then the guys who it comes easy to, I'm just like, you're
Son of a
lucky.
bitch.
Yeah, yeah, exactly.
Oh, hey man. Well, the hard work or whatever it is, natural ability, whatever, it's working for him. It's working for you. So everyone finds their own path. And Matt, one fun thing I want to do here, I actually texted you about this earlier. I don't know if you saw, but I want to ask you your New York UFC Mount Rushmore. That's the best New York fighters of all time or fighters from New York of all time in the UFC. I'd like to go one by one. Give me a brief explanation for each. Can we do that?
Yeah, yeah, it's got to be the Long Island champs. We'll start with Matt Serra. Knocked out GSP when GSP was the man. Untouchable, and now he's training some of the best fighters in Long Island, running an amazing jiu-jitsu gym. And then after that, Chris Weidman, the All-American, you got to go with him. Knocked out Anderson Silva when Anderson Silva was untouchable. Um, and then after that, obviously Aljamain Sterling, another Long Island kid who battled his way through the bantamweight division and just came back from adversity. I'll never forget, watching Aljo lose that fight to Marlon Moraes, and like I couldn't sleep that night. I was so worried, and then to see him, come back from that fight and just keep winning, and then get to the Jan fight, and then the way he won that fight against Jan, not ideal. That's not how you want to win the belt. And then the hate that he got after that. and then to come back in the rematch and just beat his ass and really earn the title. It's again inspiring. And then you finish with Merab, Merab Dvalishvili, the machine. I gave him that nickname too, I'll take that credit. Just a Georgian kid who came to America. He's living the Georgian American dream. He came here with a dream. He worked his ass off. He worked construction. He had his ups, he had his downs, and he's a world champion now. And he's achieved what he's set out to do, and it's amazing, and that's the Mount Rushmore.
And some might say, well, Merab's not New York born, but is he New York adopted?
He is Strong Island.
That's all that matters, my man. There is your New York, maybe more specifically, Long Island, Mount Rushmore of the UFC. And Matt, last question for me, non-MMA related. We got a big one tonight. Jets, Patriots. Who we got?
Come on. Jets all day, baby. Aaron Rodgers is gonna go off tonight. I'm telling you, he's gonna silence all the haters. He's gonna throw for 400 yards. Garrett Wilson all day. Hopefully he hooks up with Conklin. I've been wanting him to get Conklin in the mix. I'm excited for this game. We got to win this game.
But do they cover the spread? Minus 6.5.
Yeah.
I'm betting it. And if I lose, I'm going to text you and say, hey, what's up?
Hey, that's football.
No, I'm just kidding, man. I'm just kidding. I appreciate the time, Matt Frevola. And before I get you out of here, a lot of fans of yours looking forward to this interview, this fight, and just more of you. So anything you'd like to say to everybody?
I appreciate everyone. I'm working hard. I'm in the best shape of my life. I'm ready to go to Paris and put on a great fight. I'm gonna leave everything I got in that octagon like I always do. Blood, sweat, and tears. And no matter what happens, I appreciate the support, and we're gonna have fun in there.
You said best shape of your life. Let me see the bicep. Let me see the gun.
Let's go.
Matt
Come on.
Frenchrolla Frevola.